All right, welcome everybody. Dave ABQ SCNC getting set up here for our 1990 Fleer box break. Just getting the setup down here. Get you situated. Welcome back. We did a Madden video earlier today, a thriller of a game in case you missed it. Check it out. Our second year, week 3 game between the Washington Redskins and our New York Football Giants. Getting ready for the rest of this week as it is football week. Going live today with 1990 Fleer. Tomorrow we'll be opening up a field goal box and doing pack roulette. Not going to be live from the shop as we already got our packs to open on that one. Also, we will be opening Fleer 94 football on Friday. And Saturday we'll be going live with 2003 Topps football. Fleer 94 is still available. $4 per side on that one, plus $5 shipping. 2003 NFL football cards are jumbo packs. Saturday we'll be opening jumbo packs of 2003 NFL football. Those are $6 per pack. Only a few packs left available as there were only 12 packs. So we got 8 packs left on that. If you just joined us, welcome. Just getting set up here. Getting everything together for our live stream of 1990 football. Just going to cover you up for 1 sec as I lowered the brightness on the monitor, but it still shines pretty good on the cards. So just covering it up here so it doesn't interfere too much with the cards here. There we go. Aranya boys, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. Got some cards heading your way. Just picking out the last few. And then that'll be coming out to you later this week. Caught your stream the other day before I came to work. Sorry I couldn't stay for all of it. Good to see you, though. So today we are opening up Fleer 1990 football cards. Highlight of this set apparently was randomly packed all pro cards. 36 packs in the box. We got this box from Game Time Sports Cards and Collectibles here in Albuquerque. A couple notable cards. There's the Jeff George rookie card, Barry Sanders card, Steve Smith, Dan Marino are the top cards. After that, it is Joe Montana, Steve Young, John Elway, a Rich Gannon rookie card, Thurman Thomas, C. Rogers, how are you doing, sir? Thurman Thomas, Troy Aikman, and a Super Bowl MVP card. So C. Rogers has the bottom left and the bottom right in this break. We'll be looking for Barry Sanders cards for him, as well as the others. Yeah, Rich Gannon rookie, I believe it's his Minnesota Viking one. And we're going to get this box going here. 36 packs, 4 sides on it. C. Rogers has both bottoms. Bottom left, bottom right. We're going to start with the top. And we're going to go top left. 36 packs from Game Time Sports Cards and Collectibles. Rich Gannon would always crack me up when he was playing with the Raiders. He would go to get sacked and he would like pick and wing his arms and then try to start running. Always cracked me up on that. All right, we're going to start top left here. 1990 Fleer football. C. Rogers has the bottom parts. We are going with the top to start with. We did open up our Hot Box cards box yesterday. Got some good stuff out of that. Tim Tebow Rumble Ponies card. Oh, there's a Bo Jackson on the back of this. I'm sure y'all are going to remember this design. Vance Johnson starts us off. Denver Broncos. Al Toon. Him and Junior Seau pretty much started the CTE movement. Al Toon was a shell of his former self after he was done. Slot receiver, went over the middle a lot, took a lot of big hits. Rich Camarillo, punter for the Cardinals. Ron Hall, tight end. Orange Sickle Buccaneers. James Jefferson, defensive back for the Seahawks. It looks like we got one of the randomly packed all-pro cards. This one's Chris Dolman. Remember liking Chris Dolman, him and Randall with the Vikings? Great guys. Al Toon was great, man. Took a lot of big hits, though. Lomas Brown, offensive lineman for the Detroit Lions. Kevin Butler, kicker, when they were still calling them place kickers. Jim Wilkes, defensive lineman for that. This is when the Saints D was way better than their offense. Chris Jackie, I remember this guy, kicker for the Green Bay Packers. We got a Deion card, Deion Sanders. Deion, Clyde Simmons, Kirk Loudermilk, Jeff Dellenbach, and Bo Jackson. There's the Bo card, 1990 Fleer. This is fourth year card for Bo. Wow, fourth year. Thank you. All right, so that's the first pack of the top left. Yeah, Al Toon was great, man. Got on some horrible Jets teams. But he was a darn good receiver. All right, next pack, Chip Banks, linebacker for the Colts. William Howard, running back for the Bucks. Bob Perry, man, look at these Patriots jerseys. Old school in it here with the guy about to hike the ball. Steve McMichael, Bears. I don't know if it was 30 for 30 or America's game. That guy, man, mean. Derek Shepard, Dalton Hilliard, Broderick Thompson, Chargers. Mike Shad, lineman for the Eagles. Andre Rison, before he got traded to the Falcons, sitting here with the Colts. Maurice Carthen. Mike Lansford, barefooting it. Anybody remember all those barefoot guys? They actually did I believe that one was a 30 for 30 with the barefoot kickers in the era of them. It didn't last very long, but people were doing it. Crazy, even in like snow and rain and all that stuff, still coming out with that barefoot. Shane Conlon, Chet Brooks, defensive back, 49ers, Steve Brown, and Bobby Humphrey, running back for the Broncos. $1990, I believe the Raiders were still in Los Angeles. Little me was still cheering them on in the stands. Darrell Green, fastest man in the NFL for so long, sitting on the back. Sterling Sharp, brother to Shannon Sharp. Sterling was a darn good receiver before he had his neck injury. Mike Gann. Keith Byers, pretty good running back for the Eagles. Rick Fenny. Jeff Cross, longtime defensive lineman for the Miami Dolphins. Mike Dial, tight end. Oh, Los Angeles Raiders. Wow, I would keep wanting to say Oakland, but it definitely was the L.A. Raiders. See if we can get you in on that. L.A. Raiders. Phil Simms. They were always trying to bench or get rid of Simms, and he just like every time they would, it was like the Manning situation. He would just step it up. They would end up going to like the Super Bowl or something. Gerald Williams, Jackie Slater, Hall of Famer, long-time offensive lineman for the Los Angeles Rams. Don Beebe. I don't know if you remember all the NFL film stuff they would show at the beginning of the games. He was always getting turned around and bounced on his head. That was like a long staple of the wide world of sports, I believe. Clay Matthews. Clay Matthews Sr. Junior's now playing for the Rams. That whole family, man. Bruce Matthews, Clay Matthews, Clay Matthews Jr., all of them are all about the NFL. Walker Lee Ashley, linebacker. Kevin Fagan, defensive lineman for the 49ers. John Grimsley. And there's Darrell Green, fastest man in the NFL. Can't believe, I don't remember which one it was. It was either Marcus Allen or Bo Jackson that he ran down. I think it was Bo. Might have been Marcus, though. They were just running away, and Darrell Green ran them down and caught him from behind. Norm Johnson, kicker for the Seattle Seahawks. We are in 1990 Fleer. Here's another All-Pro. Bear Sanders, All-Pro, 1990 Fleer. We're going to put that aside for C. Rogers. He is a Detroit Lions guy. That's going to C. Rogers. There's one of your cards, sir. Going to put that with your bottom stacks here. Put that aside. Put him in the back here, actually. Spielman, my guy. Used to like watching him play. Chris Spielman, linebacker. Richard Dent, defensive lineman. The Bears. Eric Martin. Mark Murphy. Ron Heller, Falcons. Those red helmets going on. Ron Heller. Wade Wilson, quarterback for the Vikings. Rich Gannon would take over for him. E.J. Jr., linebacker for... There's Steve Smith, running back. Oh, Los Angeles Raiders. Wow, I keep wanting to say that. Steve Smith. Dave Maggott, at the time, one of the greatest return men in the game. Thomas Everett. Buford McGee. And Larry Kennebrew. This is right when Buffalo was making their run as well. 4 back-to-back Super Bowls. Running that no-huddle offense. Let's see. They had the no-huddle. Houston had the K-gun. Bert Grossman. Chiefs had Marty Ball. Donnell Thompson. There he is. Jeff George, rookie card. Number 1 NFL draft choice. It's the Jeff George rookie card. Just going to sleeve him up real quick. Not a whole lot to this, but it is a Jeff George rookie card. NFL in 1990. Oh, man. Heyday of me watching the NFL. It was like late middle school for me, so I had nothing but time and stuff to do, playing and watching football. That was a defensive end. Stanley Morgan. I think I was telling Mike Singletary. There's Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman. Let's see. His stats were horrible when he started out. This is second year for him. 9 touchdowns, 18 interceptions for Troy Aikman. They went 3-13, I believe, that first year. Don Warren, tight end. Lee Williams, Anthony Toney, Scott Studwell, great name for a linebacker. Sean Landetta, punter for the Giants. Jerry Gray, D-back. Kelvin Martin, Harris Barden, and Steve Folsom, tight end for the Cowboys. I think it was a little bit of both. Aikman was okay. He was good, short to medium. And then the talent. Okay, so that's my problem with passing yards. Passing yards. Arana Boy says I'm a wide receiver with a tight end. Haha, funny. So passing yards include run after the catch, which is mostly like the receiver doing his stuff. So you could turn like a 5-yard slant into a 95-yard pass, and it still counts towards passing yardage. So if your guys were on it and they were able to shake defenders, you were getting a ton of passing yards. Like C. Rogers says 1986, Jerry Gray was my first ever football card. I don't remember what my first ever football card was. It had to have been one of these. As I remember, this was one of the first sets, that and the 90 Pro set. And I always liked the Pro set a whole lot better than I like this one. Ray Berry. There's Dan Marino. Dan Marino. See one of the ones we're looking for? He is one of the ones we're looking for. Dan Marino, quarterback, Miami Dolphins. So yeah, like even Marino, his stats were a lot of his guys were running after the catch. Steve Berline, quarterback for the LA Raiders. I remember him. Vince Evans, Jay Schrader. They were all quarterback rouletting it over at in LA. Mark Bavaro, great tight end for the Giants. Keith Willis. Tom Newberry. For some reason, I was always a fan of the Pro Set more than I was this, just because, like, I felt like it took away from the scene on these cards, where Pro Set had the entire card and just that little part on the bottom. Where this part, it was more focused on the player instead of like the entire scene around them. Frank Minifield, Bill Moss, Ronnie Lott, baby. Still has all his fingers, hasn't had one cut off yet. Took a hit in one of the games, compound fractured his pinky, and had it amputated by the team doctor so he could continue playing the game. Dean Steinkuhler, Mark Rippon, when he was getting going, another couple of years, he would be one of the best deep passers in the game. Ricky Dixon, they were breaking records in their 91-92 run. Tim Spencer, running back for the Chargers. So we found Jeff George. We found Dan Marino. Still looking for Barry Sanders. Hopefully all those berries. Johnny Waldeck, good to see you, sir. I mean, good to not see you, sir. We don't know that you are here. Mark Clayton, wide receiver, Miami Dolphins. Howie Long, Broken Arrow, broadcasting. Everybody thought he was going to have a big movie, TV career, and just never really happened. Eugene Lockhart, linebacker for the Cowboys. Bruce Smith, great defensive end. Had a bunch of sacks, even ended up playing for Washington at the end of his career. Bubba Paris. Lorenzo White. He was all right. He was running after Earl Campbell and before Eddie George, so he kind of got lost. Dennis Smith. Pat Leahy. Robert Awalt. Mark Robinson, Grant Fiesel, and another randomly packed All-Pro card. This one is Hall of Famer, he wishes he was in the Hall of Fame, Rich Camarillo, punter for the Phoenix Cardinals. Before they were the Arizona Cardinals, they were the Phoenix Cardinals. Eddie Murray, kicker card for C. Rogers, or not for C. Rogers, but C. Rogers' team. Jim Covert and Buford Jordan. That Saints defense, man. They were good in the early 90s. 2 packs left for the top left. Mike Munchak on the back. John Forcade. Him and Tolliver. They could never get a good, decent quarterback over there for New Orleans. Perry Kemp. Keith Jones. Eric Allen, longtime defensive back for the Eagles. Herschel Walker, post-trade with the Vikings. He only lasted 1 or 2 more years. His best years were with the USFL. Yeah, 3 years with the Cowboys, half a year with the Cowboys and the Vikings. He had 1,500 yards the year before his trade, so they definitely traded him high. 361 rushing attempts with 1,514 yards rushing the year before his trade. So, Farrell Edmonds, Don Mosvar, LT, baby, Lawrence Taylor. This was post-heyday for Lawrence when they were trying to get to the Super Bowl. He had 104 sacks at this point with 20 and a half, like 4 years before. Mike Mularkey, LT really did change the game. Teams had to figure out how to block him and get him stopped. Greg Bell, Cornelius Bennett, great linebacker for the Bills. Mike Johnson, Kevin Porter, Jerry Rice, the great one. Jerry Rice held so many records. Six-year card for him. He had 6,000 receiving yards at this point with 66 touchdowns, 22 in 1987. There's Mike Munchak. All right, here we go. So in this stack, we found a Dan Marino and a Jeff George. Rufus Porter on the back of here. One sec. Okay. It sounded like the notification for my battery running low, but it was not. So just wanted to make sure we were going to be okay here. All right, here we go. Bernie Kosar, Cleveland Browns, was supposed to be the savior for the Browns. And they did okay. They kept trying to get to the playoffs. Got caught with the drive. Chris Martin, Tom Rathman. He was a great fullback, leading blocking in front of Roger Craig. We got a All-Pro card, Curtis Elliott of Barry Sanders, a Dan Marino, and a Jeff George rookie card so far in this stack. Tony Zendejas, place kicker. Gary Clark, him and Art Monk, cornerstones of the wide receiver core for Washington. Rodney Holman, tight end for the Bengals. We pulled a Singletary. Ken Lanier. I know those are your guys. Here's another one of your ex-guys, Jim McMahon, now quarterbacking with the San Diego Chargers. John Hand. Freddie Joe Nunn. Tim Goad. Eric Sanders. Not quite Barry Sanders, but Eric Sanders for the Detroit Lions. Mike Saxon, punter. Ken Rutgers and Rufus Porter. C. Elliott, Curtis, did you catch the Madden game I posted earlier today? That thing, like, all of our games have been close so far this year. I did a rebuild, in case you didn't know, of the New York Giants in Madden 19. We are in year number 2 with a rookie quarterback. And so far, the first game we lost by 1 point. The second game was really close till like the middle of the third quarter. And then I just finished the third game. Had me going crazy here as it just was back and forth the entire game. All right, so that was the top left. We're going to go top right now. Oh, let me move. Jeff George and Dan Marino. That Barry Sanders All-Pro card. Those All-Pros are randomly inserted, so we're going to save that for C. Rogers. This is going to be the top right of this box. After this, every card is going to be for C. Rogers. We did get this box at Game Time Sports Cards and Collectibles. Their boxes have been really good to us so far. Cards have been great. Nothing really horrible going on with them. First pack, we're going top right now. Neil Anderson, running back for Curtis's Chicago Bears. Jim Jeffcoat. Morton Anderson, longtime kicker, holds a bunch of records, I believe now. Points scored, all kinds of stuff. OJ Otis Anderson, future Super Bowl MVP here. Cardinals, and then got traded to the Giants and had a couple of great years. He rushed for 1,000 yards in 1989. Jerome Brown, defensive lineman. I remember Madden would have the old-time greats, and Jerome Brown would be one of them. Bill Brooks, Mike Harden. He'd be one of the unlockable players that you could pick up. Vince Newsom, Scott Radisick, linebacker. Charles Haley, Niner days, would then get traded to the Cowboys while they were on their Super Bowl run. The America's game for the Cowboys showed him as being really unstable and pretty much doing his own thing, but he wanted to win, so. Alonzo Highsmith, Greg Cragen, Troy Benson, linebacker for the Jets, Roy Green, and Lars Tate. That is the first pack. So if you missed it earlier, tomorrow we are opening up a field goal box that we got from Target, along with the 2 Bowman Chrome packs that we got for Pack Roulette. After Pack Roulette last week, I picked up 2 more packs of Bowman Chrome, hoping for an auto in them. John Teltskik, punter for the Eagles. Keith Miller, defensive lineman. Pete Stojakovic, I remember this guy. Pete Stojakovic, that single bar kicker helmet. There's the other side, Jay Schrader. Him and Berline were always going back and forth. I think Al Davis liked Berline, while the coach at the time, I think it was Shanahan, liked Schrader. Carl Banks, great linebacker for the Giants. Yes, will and names for the giveaway will be on tomorrow's video, as doing it on my phone here doesn't, like, the screen, because of the quality of the camera on the laptop, it just shows up all horrible when I do it live. So it'll be done tomorrow. That'll be for last Sunday's video. Merrill Hodge, Willie Flipper Anderson. There's Thurman Thomas. Thurman Thomas, one of his cards. They had third down and long. You could always count on the Bills doing a halfback draw out of the gun to Thurman Thomas. Felix Wright, Derek Thomas, another great one, great linebacker for the Chiefs. John Taylor, his winning catch in the Super Bowl against the Bengals. Johnny Meads, Wilbur Marshall came over from the Giants and went to the Redskins. David Fulcher and David Treadwell, kicker. Yes, Johnny Waldeck, you are correct. Hopefully that thumbs up will let you know that that's what we are doing. All right, Shane Conlon, Chet Brooks. Starting to see a couple of these cards again. Hey, Curtis, what's going on? Bobby Humphrey. Bobby Humphrey. Probably not the same guy, but that's just funny that back-to-back cards were the same name. Vi Sikahima, Donald Igabwike, Jacob Green, and an all-pro of Steve Atwater, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who stopped Christian Okoye in his tracks. I think our first football video, myself and C. Rogers were talking about this. It was Steve Atwater. Benny Blades, defensive back for the Lions. Keith Van Horn, you okay, Curtis? Craig Hayward, Ironhead Hayward, Craig Hayward. Robert Brown, Scott Fullage, and Chris Carter. Dolphins, Vikings, Eagles, and he was on a HBO show for a while, and then I think they got mad at him because he was always like being crazy. He is now on another show on ESPN. Stephon Page, Keena Turner, Drew Hill, I think he was a slot guy for them. There's Art Monk, opposite side of Gary Clark. Bruce Reimers, Carl Mecklenburg. I remember always hating this guy. Raider Bronco games would always come down to the end, and he was always somewhere in the mix of it. Gil Bird, Clarence Verdon, Broderick Thomas, Cedric Jones. So the Steelers are really falling apart this year. Rudolph with that vicious hit. He's going to be out. He'd be lucky if he plays again. Jalen Samuels had arthroscopic surgery. Steve Walsh, quarterback for the Cowboys at this time, they ended up trading him to New Orleans as Forcade, and their other guy was just not working out. Sam Mills, the cornerstone of that Saints defense in the early 90s. Ed Reynolds and Randall Cunningham. Very awesome. Randall Cunningham paved the way for a lot of these mobile quarterbacks. He was just great. That play, I forget who against, but he was about to get sacked, and he pretty much just stiff-armed them. Dropped back a couple of yards, and threw a pass to Byers for the touchdown. Great stuff. Jamie Holland. Reggie White. Eagles, Packers, all-time sacks leader. Single season sack leader for the longest time until Strahan came along. Steve Jordan. A lot of people think Brett Favre gave him that sack Mark Collins, Kevin Green, Jim Richter, and Steve Young. There's Steve Young, backup for Joe Montana, infamously saying that he was getting the monkey off his back when they won the NFC Championship. Ray Childress, Tyrone Braxton, Tony Eason, one of the guys taken before Elway, or was it Marino? One of the guys taken before Marino. Lewis Sharp, Paul Gruber. I thought so too, but he just kind of laid down for it. He pulled a Jim Everett and just kind of laid down for it. Brian Blades, Eric Williams, defensive lineman. Ron Morris, Curtis Elliott's Bears, wide receiver. Yeah, Strahan came around the end, far saw him and just kind of laid down. Kind of like the ghost sack that Everett took with the Rams. That's when, what's his name, started calling him Chris. Jim Rome started calling him Jim Everett, Chris Everett after that phantom sack. Lionel Washington, Gary Anderson, Steelers, longtime kicker. I think he was with the Vikings for a while as well. Brian Wagner, punter. John Alt. Joe Jacoby, Hall of Fame lineman for the Washington Redskins. Johnny Rembert. Jeff Criswell. So we're getting a good mix of all-pros, Hall of Famers, and no-names. Earl Farrell. Winston Moss, so much potential, and he never really lived up to it. Jeff Bryant. Rodney Peete. There you go, C. Rogers. I remember watching this guy battle against Troy Aikman, USC versus UCLA. And that's another one of the reasons why I started watching the Lions. Jay Hilgenberg, Stan Brock. I'm really surprised that I went to Washington instead of Detroit as my next favorite team after the Raiders left LA. With all the guys that I liked for Detroit, you would think I would have been a Lions fan after that. Bill Fralick. But nope, it ended up being Washington. Raiders breaking 12-year-old me's heart by moving back to Oakland. Other than that, I'm all LA stuff. Ricky Sanders famously taking that throw from the president, Ronald Reagan, after their Super Bowl victory. James Brooks, him and Ickey Woods, man, tearing it up during their Super Bowl runs. Steve Sewell, another great running back for them. Tim Spencer, Chip Banks, William Howard. Starting to see a couple of these again. Bob Perryman, Steve McMichael, Derek Shepard, Dalton Hilliard, Broderick Thompson, Mike Shad, Rising again, pre-Falcon days, Maurice and Mike Lansford. Still looking for the Barry Sanders base card. We found his all-pro randomly inserted card, but not his base card yet so far. We found Marino. We found Jeff George. Still looking for Barry Sanders. We found Aikman. We found Thomas. We found Steve Young. So still looking for Joe Montana, John Elway, and the Rich Gannon rookie. Dave Craig. Remember him? He would always give us fits with the Raiders. And DeBerg would always give us fits with the Chiefs. Mike Cofer, linebacker for the Detroit Lions. Dennis Gentry, another good wide receiver for those Bears. Pat Swilling, him and Sam Mills, man. They just had that defense going. Tony Mandarich. Evan Cooper. Byron Evans. Anthony Carter. So it was Anthony and Chris Carter once Chris went over to the Vikings. Reggie Roby, punter He was a long-time punter, too. Greg Townsend, couple really, really good years. Got him in the national spotlight. Raul Alegre, kicker for the Giants. Tim Johnson, Mike Wilcher, Ricky Jackson, and Vaughn, yeah. Oh man, those guys were awesome. That defense. Too bad they didn't have a good quarterback. They just cannot get it going over there. Ironhead, running the ball all over the place, pounding into people. Ricky Jackson on the back of this one, and a Mark Kelso double Reebok air pump helmet. Oh man, I remember that helmet so much. Let's see if I can zoom you in on this one, because this helmet was just the thing of legends, man. Yeah, Bobby Hebert. There's the big helmet. I think Harris Barden, if I remember right, for the 49ers, had a double helmet on the offensive line for the 49ers. But this thing, man, with the Reebok pump being out, there were just so many things about making fun of Mark Kelso. Tim Manoa. There's Christian Okoye, the Nigerian nightmare. Christian Okoye. Always going to remember him getting stopped by Atwater, man. Christian Okoye was a beast, running over, trucking people all the time, stiff arming them, and Atwater just laid him out. Pierce Holt, Ernest Gibbons, Drew Hall, Ernest Gibbons. Those guys were great. Warren Moon, got to be my favorite passer of all time. Mark May, Boomer Esiason, now on the NFL Today show, along with why can I not remember the name of that show? It's like my favorite show. It used to be on Showtime. Now it's on HBO. They would show highlights and all that stuff. Mark Jackson, Billy Ray Smith, Pat Beach, tight end, Colts. Vinny Testaverde, another one that was supposed to do great things. He was okay. His best years was the 14-2 Jets. Took him all the way to the AFC Championship game and then just could not do anything. I think it was like super windy during that AFC Championship, and they just could not get it done. Bruce Armstrong, Jim Harbaugh. There you go. See, Curtis. Jim Harbaugh, Bears quarterback, ended up going to the Colts afterward and was the reason why the draft is so popular. Mel Kiper making that statement that the Colts were not going to go anywhere if they stuck with Harbaugh, and they needed to pick some quarterback. I can't remember who it was now, but that started the whole draft must-watch stuff. Was Jim Harbaugh right here. Willie Broughton, and there he is, Ricky Jackson. There you go, Ronner boys. You were just talking about him, Ricky Jackson, linebacker for the Saints. That rounds out the top right. I'm just going to put these cards away. Nothing too crazy in this one. No Marinos. No Jeff George. So hopefully Barry Sanders is sitting here on the bottom waiting for C. Rogers. If not, we still have his All-Pro card for him. Any other cards you're looking for here, C. Rogers? Primant, how are you, sir? Good to see you. All right, so this bottom left and the bottom right are sponsored by C. Rogers. Hoping to find him a Barry Sanders. We already found him. Yeah, not too bad today. Very nice. Appreciate all of you being here. We already found C. Rogers, an All-Pro 1990 Barry Sanders. It was in one of the non-sponsored stacks, so I have decided to give that to him as he loves his Lions, and I know that was one of the cards we were looking for. So tomorrow, since everybody came in just a little bit late, We're going to be opening up a field goal box tomorrow. 1 autograph, 1 memorabilia card, 1 hobby pack, plus 3 regular packs, along with our pack roulette cards. Last week we got a couple packs from Bowman Chrome. 2019, we'll be opening up a couple more of those. Hoping for an auto. There were 6 packs in the Bowman Chrome box. Jordan at Game Time said that nobody had pulled an autograph yet. We didn't pull one when we were there for pack roulette, so I'm hoping one of those 2 packs has the auto. We will also be doing the Wheel of Names for Sunday's video tomorrow. I think I was more of a Harbaugh fan when he went to the Colts, Curtis, as well. Yeah, the Bears struggled to find a really good quarterback. McMahon even wasn't fantastic. He just knew the game plan and the system he was in and was able to audible into great stuff and was fortunate enough to get some great plays out of his guys. Friday, we will be opening up Fleer 94 football. They have hot packs of 15 special insert cards randomly inserted into those. And then Saturday, we'll be going live. Saturday, we'll be doing a live stream of jumbo packs of Topps 2003 NFL football cards. Hopefully looking to find autographs. They say they're autographs of Barry Sanders, John Elway, and Carson Palmer. 12 packs with 35 cards per pack. Jumbo pack box. The packs are $6 each on the packs. And Fleer 94 has the top left and the top right still available at $4 each. We've gone through the top left and the top right here. We are now moving on to the bottom left and the bottom right, both sponsored by C. Rogers. So all the rest of the cards are going to be to C. Rogers. We did open our Hotbox cards yesterday, getting that Tim Tebow card, as well as some other cards for Sunday's pile. If you are interested in playing Lotteria, I already have like 3 or 4 people saying they want to play Lotteria. C. Rogers on Saturday stream finally won Lotteria. It was between him, Curtis, and Johnny Waldeck. They were all needing one more thing, and C. Rogers was able to be the one to pick it up. Him and my kid picked a card, and it was the one that C. Rogers needed. So once again, congratulations to C. Rogers winning Lotteria. Now, we'll also be doing the Wheel of Names tomorrow's video for the DeMarco Murray or Charles Woodson card between Curtis and C. Rogers. I'm trying to find one last thing, and it's just not showing up. Here we go. All right. So Lotteria next time is going to be for that silver Donruss Optic Vladimir Guerrero Jr. card. Lotteria for next time. We gave away the OBJ to C. Rogers. Next time it's going to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Silver Donruss Optic Parallel. That has... All right. So OBJ rookie card coming to C. Rogers. All these cards are going to be for him. We are going through... Oh, here he is. I was looking all over the top, and he's right in front of my face. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Silver Donruss Optic Parallel rated rookie card, 2019 Optic. If you would like to play Lotteria, just let me know or email us at abqscandc@gmail.com. There are 10 Lotteria cards. You just have to pick a number between 1 and 10. I will email you the picture of your card. Starting Monday, we are going to start pulling Lotteria cards for that Vladdy Jr. First one to fill up their card or black it out will win Vladdy Jr. All right. C. Rogers, these are all for you. We are getting into it. Reggie Roby, first pack for C. Rogers. Greg Townsend. Raul Alegre. Tim Johnson. Mike Wilcher, linebacker. Leonard Smith. Reggie Langhorne, wide receiver for the Browns. Stephon Page. Keena, not Tina Turner. Drew Hill. Art Monk, Redskins wide receiver. Bruce Reimers. Carl Mecklenburg. Gil Bird, and Clarence Burden. That was pack number 1 for C. Rogers. We are going bottom left, hoping to find another Barry, whether it's an All-Pro or his base card. Pat Beach, tight end, Colts. Another Vinny Testaverde. Bruce Armstrong. Another Jim Harbaugh. Willie Broughton. Ricky Jackson. So we're seeing cards that we've already seen. Hopefully we will find a Barry in here for you. Jamie Holland. Reggie White. Steve Jordan. Mark Collins. We have not found a Joe Montana. Barry Sanders. Kevin Green. Jim Richter. Steve Young. Another Steve Young for you. Ray Childress, another one. Steve Young was another one. He's underrated, but he was a great runner. Like everybody talks about Randall and all them, but Steve Young was also an innovator for not only left-handed quarterbacks, but for running quarterbacks as well. His balance was horrible, but he could still run. So Rich Gannon, we're still looking for that. Still looking for Montana. Still looking for Barry Sanders. Looks like we got one of the All-Pro inserts in this one. This one is Charles Haley, Alonzo Highsmith, Greg Cragen, Troy Benson, Roy Green, Lars Tate, Norm Johnson, All-Pro card, Lawrence Taylor, very nice. 1990 All-Pro card, Lawrence Taylor, LT, 14 of 25. So there are 25 of these All-Pro cards. Going to put him next to Barry. Chris Spielman, your first Lions card, Chris Spielman. Richard Dent. Eric Martin. LT was the man. He's been in movies too as well. Mark Murphy. Any Given Sunday, he was great in that. Ron Heller. 2 Ron Hellers. I think this box likes giving us guys with the same name. One's a tight end for the Falcons, one's an offensive lineman for the Eagles, and Wade Wilson. Yeah, I thought Any Given Sunday was good. My all-time favorite football movie, though, would have to be Necessary Roughness. I was a huge Scott Bakula fan, so with Quantum Leap. So that's probably why I like that one a little more. Derek Thomas. John Taylor. Johnny Meads. I'm sure it's not... I'm sure there are better football movies out there, like Any Given Sunday was good. Longest Yard, the original Longest Yard was good. David Fulcher. David Treadwell. So I'm sure there are movies out there that other people enjoy more than Necessary Roughness. But for me, that's my favorite movie watching, just because of the evolution of the character. Sinbad, heck yeah. It's time to party. Bert Grossman, Donnell Thompson, and a Jeff George. You got a Jeff George, sir. All right, we're going to sleeve him up. Jeff George, rookie card. I believe you got one in our Pro Set one as well, didn't you? A Jeff George. Rudy, they just did a commercial where Rudy wants to become Colonel Sanders. I don't know if you guys caught that. Jeff George, rookie card, draft #1 draft choice for the Colts. All right, hold on one sec. My wife's phone was streaming the comments, so I got to get back in there. There we go. All right, sorry about that. It went out as it wanted to update YouTube, and I'm like, no, not yet. All right, Stanley Morgan, Mike Singletary, Curtis Elliott. There's Mike Singletary for you. Troy Aikman, Don Warren, Lee Williams, and Anthony Tony. Tony. All right, so if you just joined us or you joined us a little late, we are opening 1990 Fleer football cards. This bottom left and this bottom right stack are for our sponsor, C. Rogers. In case you missed it, C. Rogers is also our first ever Patreon member. We do have a Patreon page. C. Rogers helped me work on the tiers. Singletary, yeah. Curtis Elliott says Singletary was his favorite player when he was young. He was great. I always remember that clip of him just barking. Mike Walter, Gerald Riggs. So if you guys can, I'm not asking you to sign up. Just check out the tiers. Let me know what you think of them on our Patreon page, ABQSCANDC. Let me know if they're good, if I can fix them, what you guys think. Your guys' opinions matter great to me, so because you guys have been here from just about the very beginning. Anthony Munoz, Ken O'Brien, another one taken before Marino. JT Smith, Bruce Hill. We got another insert card, all-pro card. Yeah, Quantum Leap, man. They were always teasing him going home, Curtis. I used to love watching that show. That show was great. Made me a huge Scott Bakula fan. Enterprise, he was on Enterprise, so that was great for me as well, as I'm a Star Trek and a Star Wars fan. Bruce Hill, Dave Craig, and our All-Pro is Tom Newberry for the Rams. All-Pro card, Tom Newberry. Mike Kofer, linebacker for your Lions. Another Gentry card. Pat Swilling, Tony Mandarich. Another show that I was really into for a while was Lost. Evan Cooper. By season 3, that show had me like, I caught it after it had already been going for a while, and I was binge watching it on Netflix. And at like one night, I could not turn that show off because it just had me hooked. Like I was up till like 5 in the morning, thankfully on one of my days off, trying to watch season 3 of Lost. There's Chris Dolman. We got his all-pro card earlier. Now we're getting his regular base card. So we're starting to see some cards we haven't seen before. Hopefully that will include a Barry Sanders, Mark Duper, him, Clayton, all those guys. Bob Golick. You guys remember my Bob Golick story. Eric Howard, Bubby Brister had the misfortune of taking over after their Super Bowl runs here and just could never be the same. That was after he went to the Broncos and took over for Elway after Elway retired. Pete Holohan. Another Mark Kelso with that helmet. Oh, man, I'm going to laugh every time we see that card. Tim Manoa. Another Christian Okoye. This is the same pack we saw earlier. Pierce Holt. Ernest Gibbons. So Gibbons, Hill, Boomer, Mark Jackson, and Billy Ray Smith. There were some great receivers then. I don't know if it was just the quarterbacks, like Moon, Elway. There were some great Marino's receivers, Duper, Clayton, all those guys. Sanders, Monk. There's just some great receivers. Ickey Woods. If you can tell me you did not do the Ickey shuffle, you're lying to my face. Because we all know we were trying to do that Ickey shuffle when that thing was popular. There we go, John Elway. There's a John Elway card. C. Rogers with the John Elway. Leslie O'Neal, lineman for the Chargers. Yeah, the Ickey shuffle, man. You guys know you were trying to do it. Dwayne Bickett, Ricky Reynolds, Grogan, quarterback for the New England Patriots. Took them all the way to the Super Bowl before losing to, who'd they lose to, Curtis? Neil Anderson, Jim Jeffcoat, Morton Anderson, O.J. Anderson again, Jerome Brown, Bill Brooks, Mike Harden, Vince Newsom, and Scott Radisick. 2 packs left, bottom left. Yeah, you think it's better than the Dirty Bird? Yeah, I'll give you that. Everybody likes to make fun of the Dirty Bird even nowadays. Jeff Bryant. See, I knew that would get you going. It was the Bears. You are correct, sir. Jeff Bryant. Rodney Peete for C. Rogers. Jay Hilgenberg, lineman Bears. Stan Brock. Keith Woodside. Bill Fralick. John Teltschik. Keith Millard. Stojakovic. I know this is going to be framed for you here. Jay Schrader. Carl Banks. Merrill Hodge. Willie Flipper Anderson. Thurman Thomas. There's another good one. And Felix Wright. 1 pack left for C. Rogers. Bottom left. He's still getting the bottom right, though, so still a bunch of cards coming his way. Michael Irvin. We got an early Michael Irvin card here. This is year number 3 for Michael Irvin. Ed West. Got our first checklist, and it waits for C. Rogers. Let's see if we find anybody we're looking for. Nope, not yet. All right, Andre Bruce. There's Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon rookie card. That is not his rookie card. Get out of here. 25 Perez. How you doing, sir? I don't know why. Okay, so when I was going through this, I went to Trading Card Database, and it said this was Rich Gannon's rookie card. This is obviously not his rookie card. As you can see, he's got a couple years with the Vikings before that. It's only like 6 passing attempts and 15 passing attempts. So that would be my guess as to why they said it was his rookie card, is he really did not play a whole lot. I'm going to sleep it up anyway, just because Trading Card Database said it was one of the better cards, but we're still looking for Barry Sanders for you. It is good news that we found a Rich Gannon, though, as we had not seen his card before. So that gives us hope that we will find one. Jeff Hostetler infamously took over for Phil Simms and then got overpaid by the Los Angeles Raiders. Yeah, my guess is that's what it is, Curtis. Curtis says he thinks it was his first card. That's probably true. It did say rookie RC, so I was thinking it was going to be his out-of-college card, but I believe you are correct, and it is going to be his first-year card. Brian Brennan, Pete Manley, Chip Lowmiller, longtime place kicker for the Redskins. Jason Buck, James Hasty, Tom Tupa, quarterback, Mark Carrier, and Joe Nash. All right. That was the bottom left for C. Rogers. Just going to put this aside real quick so I know that those cards are for him. So 25 Perez, we are playing Loteria again. We gave C. Rogers won our last Loteria game on Saturday's stream. He won that OBJ rookie card by filling out his Loteria card. We will be playing Loteria again and pulling cards starting on Monday. So if you are interested, just let me know a number between 1 and 10. Email me abqscandc@gmail.com so I can send you a picture of your card. And we are playing for this Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Donruss Optics Silver Parallel from 2019. That is the next prize for Loteria. Give me 1 second, guys. My fan turned off for some reason, so I'm going to go check it, make sure it turns back on here. There we go. I guess 0 is not an option for it to be on. Silly me. All right, so second place for Loteria. We'll do 2 places. Second place after that Vladdy Jr. will be an Aaron Judge Gold Cup card from 2018 opening day. Gold Cup, Aaron Judge. So the winner will get their choice. Vladdy Jr., Silver Donruss Optic, or that 2018 Aaron Judge. And then second place will get the one that first place did not want. That's what we'll do for Loteria this time. And we are moving on. Bottom right is the last stack. This is for C. Rogers. Yeah, that stack on the bottom left was all right. Got that Jeff George, the LT All-Pro card. So far, so good here. We are going bottom right. Last stack of the box of 1990 Fleer. Tomorrow, we are opening up a field goal box and doing pack roulette. Friday is 1994 Fleer football. And Saturday is a box of jumbo packs, 2003 NFL football. Looking for autographs inside that. Bottom right, still for C. Rogers. Here we go. First pack, bottom right, Greg Rakowski. We have not seen his card yet, so that gives me great hope that we might be able to find a Barry Sanders. Steve DeBerg was talking about him. He played with a cast on his hand. Could not believe that one year with the Chiefs. Art Still, Tim McGee, I believe it was his non-throwing hand. But still, like, he had a cast on his hand while he was playing quarterback. That had to hurt every hit he took. Freeman McNeil. Return of the Cedric Mack. Chris Moore, punter, ended up going to the Falcons. John L. Williams, C. Rogers. Ronnie Lott, baby, All-Pro. I had to pass John L. Williams for a sec. Oh, man. Did you peek at what's behind this? Johnny Waldeck, you have a great night. Thank you for stopping in, even if you couldn't hear us. Appreciate you, brother. Ronnie Lott, All-Pro, 1990 Fleer. Seth Joyner on the back of this one. Philadelphia Eagles. Mike Ken, offensive lineman for the Falcons. Magikowski. Trivia question, who was the man that Brett Favre took over? Email is abqscandc@gmail.com. Basically, spelling out the and sign instead of just putting the and sign, as the email wouldn't let me do it. Majkowski. Jim Dombrowski, offensive lineman. Brad Muster, running back for the Bears. And then once again, we had an all-pro card, Ronnie Lott. I guess I'll show you the card that's behind us, C. Rogers. Barry Sanders, baby. Barry Sanders. Mayans card for C. Rogers. Boom. Looking for this card for you, sir. Second year card, 1,470 yards. Year number 1 with 14 touchdowns. Very nice. Getting the sleeves out for that one. C. Rogers, big Lions fan. We found his all-pro card earlier in the box. And now we are finding his regular card, second year card for Barry Sanders. So these are the two different cards here. All-pro card and the regular base card here. Going to put these in the back. Those are both going to C. Rogers. Sorry for messing with you, man, but I saw it. I didn't know if you peeked it behind the Ronnie Lott. He was like a part of him was out there, so I didn't know if you had seen it or not. Brent Fullwood, Chris Miller, quarterback, Falcons. Mike Quick, great name for a wide receiver. Joey Browner. John Offerdahl, linebacker for the Dolphins. Eddie Anderson. Leonard Marshall. So really, I think the only card we haven't found is Joe Montana and that MVP Super Bowl card. Is I think we found everything else. Rod Woodson started out as a punt and kick returner and ended up being a darn good cornerback and safety in his day. Ooh, that's cold. I know you have, right? Thank you. Henry Ellard, great wide receiver for the Rams. He was opposite Flipper Anderson. Ended up going to the Patriots at the end of his career. Scott Norwood. I'm going to put him on the right side of your screen for no obvious reason at all. Actually, I'll put him just outside the right side of your screen. Scott Norwood. Thane Gash. Nick Lowry, another one that ended up being a barefoot kicker for a little bit. Mike Kofer. Some of you will remember him from Tecmo Bowl. Bruce Matthews, another of the Matthews clan. Long time lineman for the Oilers. Hall of Famer. And Darryl Grant. Moving along, last stack for C. Rogers. We were able to find that Barry Sanders for him. So he's gotten a Jeff George, a Barry Sanders, All-Pro, and there's the MVP card. That's the last card we were looking for. Besides Joe Montana, Super Bowl MVPs, Montana and Rice. Gonna get a sleeve for that one as well. Yes. All right, so gonna sleeve that up. Montana and Rice, Super Bowl MVPs. Still looking for the Montana, I think, is the last one. Ray Horton. Tim Harris. Another checklist. Terry Hogue. Sammy Smith. Lionel Washington. Gary Anderson. Brian Wagner. John Alt. Joe Jacoby again. Rembrandt. Jeff Criswell. Earl Farrell. And Winston Moss. Some of the same packs we've seen before. Luckily, we were able to get a good mix of cards in here. There were, I believe, 400 cards in the set. So with 15 cards times 36, there was a good chance we were going to see a bunch of doubles, but I'm glad we were able to find all the cards we were looking for. Keith Willis, just no Joe Montana. Tom Newberry, Pete Metzelaars, Frank Minifield, Bill Moss, Ronnie Lott again, Steichkoller, Mark Rippon, Ricky Dixon, Simon Fletcher, Anthony Miller, haven't seen his yet, slot guy for the Chargers, Ron Stark, Percy Snow, linebacker for the Chiefs, draft pick card, Danny Villa, and Richard Johnson, wide receiver for the Lions. Percy Snow, such a big deal. He was above average. I think he went to a couple of Pro Bowls. Just stuck on that Chiefs team. They would, if they did go to the playoffs, they wouldn't make it out of the first round. Montana and Marcus Allen ended up going to the Chiefs for a little bit. He was with MSU, right on. Do you want me to put him in a sleeve for you? Since he is that is his first round or his first draft pick card. I'll do that. Where'd he go? Was he that? He was not that far back. There he is. Okay. Oh, those are the old MSU uniforms. You are correct. No, okay. Mosayenko, Leon White, Michael Brooks, Marion Butts, Michael Ball. We're seeing a few cards we haven't seen yet. Ron Stallworth, Fred Marion, defensive back for the Patriots, Chris Barr, Nate Newton, the outlet. Percy Snow won the Outland and Lombardi Trophy in the same college year. That's awesome. That's hard to do. Brian Noble, another checklist. You are getting the checklist in this one. Kenneth Smith, Sims, Mark Logan, Marcus Allen. Boom. Marcus Allen card. Very nice. This is when they started to not use him as much. Look, he had 200 to 300 attempts every time except for the year before where he had 69. I think that's when they started using him as Bo's fullback. Jim Worley just fell into Al Davis purgatory and never got out of it. Four packs left in the box, and for C. Rogers, John Settle, Rich Carless, Bart Oates, great offensive lineman, Greg Lloyd. I remember really liking Greg Lloyd, especially in Madden. He was awesome. Matt Barr, he was probably not that great of a player. I think he was an All-Pro a couple times, but for some reason I just really like Greg Lloyd. Tim Cumry, Johnny Hector, running back for the Jets, Anthony Bell, Randy Grimes, Kelly Stouffer. Oh, man, I remember Stouffer. Jim Arnold, punter for the Lions, Vesty Jackson, and Robert Massey, defensive back for the Saints. 3 packs left. Lionel Manuel, Lewis Lips, wide receiver for. There's Jim Everett, Los Angeles Rams, quarterback Andre Reed, Eric Metcalf, another great return guy, Leonard Griffin, Joe Montana. There he is, bub. Joe Montana. It's the last card we were looking for. 4 Super Bowls, 4 victories out of Notre Dame. At this point, he had 216 touchdowns. Yeah, Eric Metcalf was good, man. Mike Rozier, Charles Mann, Lewis Billups, Orson Mobley, Arthur Cox, Harvey Armstrong, Blair Thomas, looks like he's out of Penn State for the Jets, and John Stevens. Yeah, that Montana card is nice. 2 packs left. So we were able to find Barry Sanders, LT All-Pro, Joe Montana. There's Bobby Humphrey, Bai Sikahima, Ronald Igbuike, Jacob Green. We got another All-Pro card coming up. It is Rod Woodson, All-Pro card for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kick returner at this point. Benny Blades, Keith Van Horn, Ironhead Hayward, Robert Brown, Scott Fullage, Chris Carter, Eagle card, Ray Berry, another Dan Marino. Let's see, was Dan one of the better cards? He was. All right. Dan Marino. Do you want that Montana in a sleeve? I got one out for Marino. I can put Joe in one. I will. You seem really excited about that Joe Montana, so we'll put him in a sleeve for you. Montana, man, great quarterback. Let's see if I can find him. There he is, Joe Montana. Montana to Rice. Taylor was good too as well. I think in one of the Super Bowl videos, after he makes that catch, they were talking about how he sold used cars and during the offseason, John Taylor, at one of the other pros car lot. So Chris Carter, Ray Berry, Craig Hayward. I might have already said these. Yes, I did. Okay. Steve Berline and Mark Bavaro. All right, last pack for C. Rogers. Got a Andre Ware draft choice card on the back of this. Detroit Lions. We're going to sleeve that up for you as well. Andre Ware, Detroit Lions draft choice card. I believe he was out of Syracuse, wasn't he? They tried to put him at quarterback, but it just never worked out. Lee Johnson, Steve Atwater, Martin Bayless, Jack Trudeau, Gary Hodgeboom, Roland James, Bob Gagliano, another quarterback for the Lions, Bob Gagliano, Bill Bates, Eric McMillan, Travis McNeil, Tony Casillas, Gary Zimmerman, Doug Reisenberg, and last card of the box, Derek Hill, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll recap what we got for C. Rogers before we get out of here. Thank you all for joining us on the stream today. We will be streaming Saturday. No, that's Hotbox Cards card. There's the All-Pro for Barry. So we got Barry Sanders base card. Thank you, Curtis. Enjoyed having you guys here, chatting with you, going over everybody's favorite players and movies and everything. Barry Sanders All-Pro card. 25 in the set. We were able to find about half of those probably. Andre Ware, draft choice card for the Lions. Dan Marino. Joe Montana. And that Super Bowl MVP card, Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. Thank you for getting in on the break, C. Rogers. Appreciate you very much. Be putting those cards away so I know that they go for you. And I'll be getting those out here to you shortly. Thank you, everybody, again for being here. Don't forget, the rest of football week is coming up. Houston. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Houston off and on have good teams. The last couple of years, they were really good. Cracked, I think, the top 25. Don't forget, email us, abqscandc@gmail.com to get in on Lotteria. First card, we'll be pulling the first card next Monday's video. 25 Perez, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. I picked up a box for basketball week. So we'll be showing those here shortly. Jumbo packs on Saturday of 2003 football. Hoping to find some good stuff in there. Pack roulette and field goal box tomorrow. And Friday is 94 Fleer. Looking forward to it, guys. Should be fun. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you again for joining the stream. Curtis, check out the Madden video. It's a nail biter, man. I'm not going to tell you which way it went, but it was a nail biter. And we hope to see you guys again. Stay safe. And thank you for joining us again. Appreciate all of you. And we will catch you guys next time. And we will be doing the Wheel of Names tomorrow as well for last Sunday's video and for the Charles Woodson card between C. Elliott and C. Rogers. Have a great night, everybody. Stay safe. We'll see you again. Bye.